Welcome everybody, my name is David and today we're going to be talking about a Bible story. The name of the story is The Faith of the Centurion, and here's the story.
Matthew 8:5. When Jesus had entered Capernaum, the centurion came to him asking for help. Lord, he said, my servant lies at home paralyzed and in terrible suffering. Jesus said to him, I will go and heal him. The centurion replied, Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority with soldiers under me. I tell this one, go, and he goes. I tell this one, come, and he comes. I say to my servant, do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard this, he was astonished and said to those following him, I tell you the truth, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith. I say to you that many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the subject of the kingdom will be thrown outside into darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then Jesus said to the centurion, Go, it will be done just as you believed it would. And his servant was healed at that very.
Isn't that a great story? Doesn't that tell you something about God? Doesn't that tell you something about Jesus? You know, for me, it just tells me that Jesus is an awesome God, that He is a great God, that He heals someone suffering from paralysis, someone suffering from a lot of pain, that He just healed them just by saying words. Amen. So, there are a few things which I noticed from the story which I'm going to share with you today. The first thing which I noticed was the centurion coming to Jesus with the problem. The second thing which I noticed was that Jesus going with him. Amen. So if you come to Jesus with the problem, Jesus' reply is not going to be, I cannot do it, I will not do it, maybe yes. No. Jesus' reply is going to be, I will go and I will heal it. Amen. The third thing which I noticed was, that the centurion saying it to Jesus, Lord, if you just speak the words, my servant will be healed. So I think it's important for us to say and confess that we know that, Lord, if I believe in you, my problem will be solved. So I think it's important to confess that. It's important to remind ourselves that again and again. The fourth and the final thing which I noticed was a problem solved. Amen. The centurion came to Jesus with the problem, saying that my servant is suffering from pain, and when he went back, his servant was healed. So when you come to Jesus with the problem, you go back without the problem. Amen. So another thing which I noticed was the centurion knew what authority was, because he said to Jesus, he said, Lord, even I'm a man under authority. I tell this one to go and he goes. I tell this one to come and he comes. I tell this to do this and he does it. So he knew what authority was, and he knew that the person who has authority has power in his words. So he knew what authority was. He knew who had the authority, and he knew what power authority held. So he knew that Jesus had the authority, and he knew that Jesus had the power, and he knew that Jesus could heal the person just by saying the words. Because he knew that Jesus had authority, and the person who has authority has power in his words. Amen. So and I think when the centurion said to Jesus, Lord, I believe that you can heal him. Lord, if you just speak the words, my servant will be healed. I believe that Lord liked that. I think Jesus was impressed by it, because it says Jesus said this to the persons following him, and wherever Jesus goes, there was a crowd following him. So Jesus said this to the crowd. I have not seen a person in such. I have not seen a person with such great faith, even in Israel. So when you say that to Jesus, Jesus is happy. God's happy that you can trust on Him. So I think that's important. I think that's very important to keep reminding ourselves that Jesus can do it. Amen. So in conclusion, I would like to say that the first thing which I'd like to say is that Jesus heals a paralytic man just by saying words. Jesus said to the centurion, "Go, it will be done just as you believed it would." So the centurion came with expectations that if Jesus could just speak the words, my servant would be healed. And at last, God Jesus says, "Go, it will be done just as you believed it would." So I believe that when you come to Jesus, come with expectations, come with promises, because God says, "Go, and it will be done just as you believe." In the Bible, there are many instances where we see that people get healed by their faith. Jesus says in the Bible, "Your faith has healed you." So I believe that it's important to have faith in the Lord. I believe when you come to Jesus, come with expectations, come with faith, come with promise, because He's a God who can do it. Amen. He's not a God who cannot do it. He's not a God who's going to leave you incomplete. He's a God who's going to fill you. He's a God who's going to do great things in your life. Amen. So so when you come to Jesus, come with expectations, come with promises, come to rely on Jesus, because God can take the burden. When you come to Jesus, say, Lord, whatever, say this, whatever problems I have in my life, whatever I'm going through, my tensions, my worries, I give them to you, because God is great enough to take your burden. Amen. So when you come to Jesus, know that whichever problem you're dealing with, whatever circumstances you're facing, God, Jesus is bigger than that. Amen. And He will go with you and He will heal your problem. Amen. Thank you so much for watching that video. I hope it encourages you to learn and know more about Jesus Christ. I would just like to say to you, if you have any prayer requests, if you have any questions, so do leave them in the comment section below so that we can answer that for you. And do tune in next week for the next message, and I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching this video once again.